I don't know why that's still up here. Okay, you're recording. I don't need that anymore. First question. 120. This is 4.25/T. I don't know what that T means, but let's see what this says. Okay, this is okay, they're giving us, okay, they're gonna do that least squared regression until they get y'all to do it. So let me go ahead and pull up the formula for it, because let me just go ahead and this is the easiest way to do it. Part B is probably, let's go ahead and do part B first and get that out of the way. So I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna hit until I get to part B. So you can write down the formulas. Here we go. All right, write down those formulas. You got y hat is equal to b sub 1 x plus b sub o, where b sub 1 is equal to r times s of y over s of x. And the least squares regression line, and b sub o, b sub 0, is equal to y bar minus b sub 1 x bar. I'm going to try to get that back where, there we go. So they give you x bar, they give you s of x, they give you y bar, they give you s of y, and they give you r. Everybody got that? So let's just take this example right here. And it's been so long since I've done this, because usually it's just done in the calculator. I mean so we know that, and evidently they're gonna ask y'all questions until you finally do it. So let's go with y hat is equal to b sub 1 x plus b sub o. And then we've got b sub 1 is equal to r times s of y over s of x. And that's the slope. Now I'm just looking to see, let's see if we can go ahead and do that. So we've got s of y, which is 1.24, and s of x and r. So let's go ahead and do b sub 1. B sub 1 is going to be equal to negative 0.8895 s of y is 1.2454 over s of x, which is 1.9408. So you go ahead and take your calculators, and I'll take my calculator, and we'll do it and see what everybody comes up with for the slope. I don't know why they just don't let people do the trend line. Okay, so we got, let me clear this. Okay, so we've got 1.2454, 1.2454 divided by 1.9408, 1.9408, and I got 0.64169, blah, 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 times negative 0.8895. And y'all should get for B sub 1 negative 0.5708. Y'all check me.
That's what I got.
That's correct.
Okay. And now you take that and put that right here. Sorry. So y hat is equal to negative 0.5708x plus B sub O. Why have I got two of those things floating around? Whatever. I've got two of them. Huh. I don't know why that happened. And the problem, do they give us a B sub O, or we just, probably B sub O is just whatever. Okay, B sub O is equal to Y bar, B sub O is equal to Y bar minus B sub 1 X bar. Y'all got that? So pull up our handy dandy. So there's our B sub O formula. So we need Y bar. Y bar is 4.05. 4.05 minus B sub 1, we got negative 0.5708 times X bar, and X bar is 3.833. So let's take our handy dandy calculator and do all this archaic work. So negative 0.5708 plus times 3.833. Okay, there I get negative, but it's going to become a plus because of the negative. So I'm just going to go 4.05 minus second answer, and it should give us 6.24. 6.24. And that's going to be 6.24 right there. So you've gone around the world, basically find your trend line. So let's see what they want. Well, that's the explanation. I gave you the formulas. But what we can do is take this guy and we're going to open it in Excel. Now try to remember when we get ready for the test to enable Excel to where you can still use Excel on the test or StatCrunch, one of the two. Got to remember to do that. Somebody's got to help me remember, because I sure don't want you having to do all that archaic work. All right, highlight those two, insert, and go to the stat plot. Okay, there's my drawing. Got a negative slope, negative correlation. Add trend line. And I'm going to display equation and R squared. And somebody go ahead and take the square root of that for me, please, so I can put it on here while I'm enlarging everything.
I got 0.9153.
So it's a very strong negative correlation. It's negative because the slope is negative. Now, I guess if you did all that, you know, let's go back to the question. Write that down. That's y is equal to negative 0.6912x plus 6.5496, and r is equal to negative 0.9153. That's all I'm interested in on the test, but some of y'all's homework problems, they want y'all to, you know, not only tell you who attended Wimbledon, but what were their addresses. Some of these homework questions are ridiculous, but they are what they are, and we just have to deal with them. Let's go back to the question. So which one does, oh, I need to look to see what it looks like, because I didn't even look at it. Okay, it's splitting the first two and the second two and hitting the third dot right there. So let's find the one that's hitting, well, there it is right there. Because that's the only negative slope. Well, there's a negative slope, but it's not the same. So that's that. Okay, this is the part B that you were worried about, whoever sent this question. And I showed, I can't, just went on the table and hit something. All right, so that's going to be 0.691 plus, got a plus there. And that's going to be 6.55. Fantastic. And then which one is it? It's the one that splits the two and hits the third dot. Okay, this question, I don't mind it as far as a test question. The only thing I do mind is that they make you do this, and they don't make you do it. You can bypass this and just do it on the Excel spreadsheet. Or you could do it where? On your calculator. Let's do that, just so everybody can do it and everybody will feel good about themselves. We'll clear everything. All right, type everything in, go to Stat, Edit. Good golly molly. I don't know where all those came from. Let's see if I can hit clear and see if it'll clear the whole thing. Yep. You go to the top when you want to clear something, go to the top where it says L and hit clear and hit enter, and then it'll clear the whole thing. There we go. All right, so 1, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6. 1, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6. Next, 5.1, 5.8, 4.6, 3.6, 1.9, and 2.4. Now, there's a couple things I haven't showed you, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the first part. The first part I've showed you how to do. Hit Stat, go to Calculate, and go to Linear Regression. That means find the trend line is what it means. And L1 and L2, all you got to do is calculate. It's a miracle. Negative 0.691 plus 6.55. And the R coefficient is negative 0.9153. Now I'm going to show you something I hadn't showed you before. Go to second, and Y is equal. Second, Y is equal. Click Enter. You're going to enable that first one. Hit Enter for on, and make sure you hit the chart plot or the scatter plot. And graph. Okay, I've got something in there, so I've got to take it out. Y is equal. Make sure you clear anything that's in the. There we go. Now, it's still got it where you can't see it. So you hit Zoom 6 for the 9 for stat. There's your, look at there. Isn't that amazing? Now let's put in our formula. Y is equal to negative 0.691 X plus 6.55 and graph. Look at there. That's amazing. Now, is this a good test question? Yes, it's a good test question. Should you take 15 to 20 minutes doing it by hand? No. You should take 1 to 2 minutes doing it by Excel or calculator. Well, heck, might as well go ahead and just do the other one. What is it? Stat Crunch. If it'll work. Do Stat Crunch. And it'll already put the numbers in there, and you just, well, I'm going to get out of that. Hit Stat, go to Summary Statistics, or go to Regression, Simple Linear. Select the first one, select the second one, and compute. And there is your line. And they even put it somewhere. There it is right there. Of course, they do it backwards. I don't know why they do that. Negative 0.6912x plus 6.5496. So you can even do it quicker in StatCrunch. And then if you don't want to do those three things, then do it by hand. But I'm not going to tell you to do it by hand. It's a good test question. So I'm going to delete that one. All right. We've got some 5.1 questions, and they're in order. So we're going to go this one first. This is 5.1, 19/7. Is it a test question? Not really, because I don't like these questions, but it's a homework question, and it could be a standardized test question. Okay, you got a person drawing a card, and that card is either going to be black or what? Red. Now, the person doing this problem may not pick that up. A person who draws a playing card and checks his color. Now, technically, they should say a deck of cards is being used and the colors are black and red. They should put that in there. It's a very big assumption of the person doing this question that they know what a deck of cards looks like. Okay? And a 6-sided die one, two, three, four, 5, 6. So what are the possibilities? Well, black 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And red 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the answer. The B stands for black, the R stands for red. And yes, you could say red 1, red 2, red 3, red 4. If it marked it wrong on the test, if this did find its way on my test, which I doubt, and you put in R1, R2, and it marked it wrong, I would mark it right because that's not a big deal. In fact, I would use the colors first. Black 1, black 2, black 3, black 4, black 5, black 6, and then red 1, red 2. I wouldn't do it this way. Okay? So if it is a test question, it's not a hard one. I just don't like those questions. It's just me. Sample space is a collection of the possibilities. That's what this is. So somewhat maybe question, I doubt it. Next one, 5.139/15. First of all, is it a test question? Oh, hail to the yeah. Okay. Remember, what is the primary rule of probability? Probability goes from 0 to what? 1.
To 1.
That means that the total for all your probabilities should equal 1. So we're going to go through and check all these probabilities and see if they're substantial. Let's look at A. What is the sum of those probabilities?
1.
4/4, which is equal to 1. So it's good. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is equal to what?
1.
To 1.
So I'm going to put 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So that's a possibility. Okay, we got fractions. So that means that y'all not going to do that one, right? Y'all skip that one, right? Because it's fractions, y'all can't do it, right? Is that what y'all do? So I got to get a common denominator, so I'm going to change
That
those
equals
first
1.
two. Say again.
I think it equals 1.
Okay. You were supposed to skip it. 18 plus 7 over 18 plus 7 over 18. 14, 16, 18 over 18. So those that skipped it, it does equal 1. D is not. Well, Hubert, how did you know? You didn't even do it. You didn't need to. D is not. Why?
There's a negative.
You can't have a negative in probability because it's not between 0 and what? 1. Okay, so D is not a possibility. All right, we got to get another common denominator of 8. So that's going to be 2 8s plus 2 8s plus 2 8s plus 1 8. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 8s is not equal to 1. Y'all check my math, though. So E is not a possibility. And let's check the last one. 21 plus 1 is what? 22. So 22 over 22 is 1, so F is good. So A is good, B is good, C is good. Did we say D? D is not good. No, D is... Oh, D is not good. Sorry. D is not good. E is not good. And F is good. And this is not only a standardized test question, it's a Hubert test question. So the question asks you, I don't know which one's good or which one's bad. What does it ask? Is consistent with a probability model. So that would be A, B, C, and F. A, B, C, and F. And remember, you're not supposed to read the directions, so just don't put commas in there so you can get the wrong answer. Okay? Everybody got that? Another test question. What if I had 2.5 in here somewhere? That would be an automatic what? Disqualifier. No. Because it has to be between 0 and 1. 2.5 is not between 0 and 1. So if you had a negative 1.6, that would be an automatic double disqualifier. So that's a good question. I like those. And if you miss that, you don't tell anybody. All right, 41. 41/16. Oh my, same question. Sorry. Well, let's do it. All right, that one's good. That one's good. So that one's good. That one's not good. So it's the same. Looks like the same thing. Yeah.
It's a different question, though.
Yeah, but it's just D and E is not good. I think it's still A, B, C, and F. A, B, C, and F. Oh, I got one wrong. Must be F then, because C looks all right. 14, 16, 18. Let's check F. All right, that'll be 7 over 21, 7 over 21. That's 7 over 21, 7 over 21, 6. That's 21 over 21. Somebody check that.
I think the answer is just B.
Wait a minute. Oh, this is a different question. You're right. Use the given table, which lists 6 possible assignments of probabilities for tossing a coin twice. Determine which of the assignments the probability should be used if the coin is known to always come up heads.
B and F.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't like this one. This one's confusing. B, comma, F.
But it may not be F since F doesn't equal up to 1.
Does it say, it says use which lists 6 possible assignments. For tossing a coin twice.
I think it should just be. I think that's what I put on mine.
Okay, let's see what B says. Good job. Thank you. Because that's not a test question. I would not put that on a test. To me, that's confusing. Oh, okay. I see now, right there. I didn't see the top of the graph. And the reason I didn't see the top of the graph is being a teacher, I was looking at this from the previous question. That's what I was looking at. I wasn't even looking at this. So heads would be the only time right there, because it said always come up heads. That would be that one. Always come up heads means that the others are what? Zeros. Yeah, I don't like that question. That can be confusing. I would assume if it's a little bit confusing to me, then it's a lot more confusing to you. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
43/17. Yeah, this is a standardized test question, but not a Hubert test question. Now, they should put in here they should put in here do not include overlaps, okay? Because Dominique and Roberto is the same as Roberto and Dominique. You see what I'm saying? If you got 2 plane tickets going to the beach or whatever, and one's for Dominic and one's for Marco, it doesn't matter if they switch the tickets, does it? Doesn't matter, okay? So the whole point, well, it might have their name on it, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if they switch the tickets, whatever, okay? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Dominique and Marco is the same as Marco and Dominique. So you don't need to, so what I would do is I would say Dominique Clarence, Dominique John, Dominique Roberto, Dominique Marco. And then I would go, and then I would make sure I wouldn't include Clarice and Dominique because I've already included Dominique and Clarice. So now I would just do Clarice John, Clarice Roberto, Clarice Marco. Then I would not include John and Clarice, nor John and Dominique, but I would go John, Roberto, John, Marco. Then I would do Roberto, Marco. So I would say probably A, because that excludes the overlaps. When you're talking about people being picked, you don't include the overlaps. You don't include the ones that are the same. Dominique and Marco. So go back up here. Where's Dominique and Marco? 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 1 out of 10. That's going to be 0.1. Probability that Roberto attends the conference. Roberto, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 out of 10. Let's see, we may need to do that on a calculator. 0.4. I don't know why this question is taking so long to type in answers. Must be something wrong with the question. The probability that Marco stays home. Well, if Marco, okay, this is a complement. Write this down. Complement is what makes up the whole. If the probability that Roberto attends a conference is 0.4, then what is the complement of 0.4 to 1? The complement. In other words, what do you add to 0.4 to get to 1? What do you add to 40 cents to get to $1?
60 cents.
0.6. That's the complement. And that's going to help us go into class today. That's the complement. So you might want to write that down as an example. The probability P of R is let's write it down like this. P of R, probability of Roberto going somewhere is 0.4. Therefore, probability of not R, and it's written like this, or it can be written like this, or it can be written like this, which I've never seen it.
Hubert, I'm just seeing a question.
C here.
Yeah, I think there's a big lag.
I'm sorry, you see.
Oh, there it comes.
Okay.
It's lagging really bad.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's lagging today. It hadn't been lagging. It's a conspiracy. That C may be on the bottom. It may be on the top. But the complement is 0.6. Whatever makes up the whole. If the probability, I'll do another one. If the probability of Roberto is 0.8, then the probability of not Roberto would be what? 0.2. Those are called the complements. The complement is what makes up the whole. Now, there's one more way you can do a complement. If there are 200, if there's 500 people working in a plant, like Michelin, okay? You got 500 people working in the plant, and 200 are sick with Rona. You notice how Rona went away?
When the protest
started. A bunch of
started.
riots and protests and everything. Yeah, and then after the protests went, then we had Rona again. I'm not saying anything. If 200 have Rona, what's the complement of 200 that doesn't have Rona? 300 don't have Rona. So you can have a complement as far as equal to 1. See, 0.8, 0.2 is 1. 0.4, 0.6 is 1. That's when it's to the, this is when it is to the equal 1. Okay? And then you can have equal to the total. So make sure you make that's the complement. Complement is what makes up the whole. If 0.4 is given, then 0.6 is a complement. If 500 is given and 200 have this, then that means 300 don't have that. Yeah, you could go out and protest, and you can go out and burn everything down, and it was okay. Now, we have to worry about running again. Interesting how that works, isn't it? Nobody's going to say anything. I thought somebody would say something. All right. 5.1, 49/18. Nobody's going to say that because they're scared too. I don't blame you. You might get canceled. Yeah, something's either up with my computer or something's up because it's taking forever to pull up a question. Is y'all's computers lagging too, or is it just mine?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
lagging.
I
Probably.
I didn't see much of the whiteboard
So it's
thing.
not just me lagging.
I think it may be your connection
I'm sorry.
causing our video to lag. I'm not 100% sure.
Or the rain.
Okay, I think we went over this one before, but we'll go over it again. Why? Because it's a test question. You suspect a six-sided, and it's also a standardized test question. You suspect a six-sided die to be loaded. Well, first of all, you're rolling it 400 times. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take 400 and divide by 6. Because if it's equal, you're going to get around this number of times. 6 will go into 40 6 times. That'll leave 40, 66.6 repeating, which is about 67 times. So each number on a die should be around 67. 67-ish, 60 to 7-ish, 67 to 64, you know, somewhere 64 to 70, somewhere in there. Let's see what theirs looks like. Oh, hell no, something's wrong. Why? What's wrong here?
C.
Well, none of them are around 60. None of them are around 60, and there's two extremes. So it looks like somebody's loaded this die. And I would say C is in Charlie. Nice work. And that's the questions for today. We ought to just quit today. But we can't. We need to move on. But I'm not going to do slides today. I'm just going to draw. I just hope it ain't lagging that much. Why did it do that? Hold on. I wanted to go to my TV monitor. I don't want to put it on my TV monitor. There we go. All right. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about odds. We're going to talk about additive law. And we're going to talk about the multiplicative law. If we get lucky and get all three. I don't know if we'll get that far or not. Okay? Somebody look on your outline and tell me what section is the additive law. Anybody got your outline handy?
Uh, 5.2, the addition rule.
Okay. So 5.2 is the addition law, and 5.3 the multiplicative law.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you said we weren't doing 5.3.
Well, we're doing multiplicative law. Hold on. Let me go back and look at that.
I think he said like we end up grouping them in together pretty much.
I mean, I think the only ones I remember taking 2 out,
Yeah.
and one was 5.6.
I think it was 5.3 and 5.6.
Let's see, Silva. Well, we could look on the homework, and that would tell because I already took it off. .4 and 5.6. Let's look at the homework and see if I did that. 5.4 and 5.6. Yep, I took the wrong one off. Okay, let me fix that. Thank you. Should be 5.4 and 5.6. Oh. .4 should be deleted. Assign, and I'm going to assign 5.3. Is that good now? 5.4 and 5.6. Okay. Let me go ahead and change the other class while I'm at it, because they'll be sending me 15,000 emails. So let me change that. Why I took out 5.3? I thought it was, well, everybody makes mistakes. Except teachers. Teachers aren't supposed to make mistakes, right? I sure did. I did it on both of y'all. Okay, 5.4, take that one off. And 5.6 should already be off. There we go. All right. My bad if I made that mistake. I made it. I might have said, I don't know what I said last time, but I thought that's what I get for thinking. All right. So 5.3 is multiplicative law. 5.2 is additive law. 5.1 is still odds, I think. I think the odds questions are in the end of 5.1. So, what are odds? Odds is the probability of odds against is equal to the probability of failure over the probability of success. Okay? The odds in favor, I don't go over that very much, is the reciprocal. Probability of success over the probability of failure. Now, when you're doing odds, the best way to do it, and I don't write in red, but I'm going to use red, leave in fraction form, because you get everything to cancel. Okay? Now, let's say, and this is the best question that I give y'all, because This is a test question and a standardized test question. You have a roulette table. And the roulette table, y'all know what a roulette table is. It's got numbers. It goes around. Half of them are even, half of them are odd. And then you've got half of them that are black and half that are red. And then you got two that are green, 0 and 00. And sometimes the 00 is on the other side. Some are red and some are black. Half are red, half are black, and then half are even, half are odd. Y'all know what the marble goes around. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna write a problem here. A roulette wheel has or let's go with 40, make it easy. 40 slots numbered 1 through 40 with 0 and 00. Okay, so roulette wheel has 40 slots, so 40 slots and then 0 and 00. Let's put the 00 on the other side because technically they're on opposite sides. So let's just make this 1. This is 0 and this is 00. And you have 40 other slots besides, so a total of how many slots? A total of 42 slots. Everybody with me? The question is going to ask you 2 or 3 things. A, what is the probability of an even number? And then B, what are the odds against getting an even number? And then, what if you make a $500 bet on an even number? And it falls on an even number. Now, this question could be, it could be you bet on a horse. It could be several different things, but the one that I see the most as far as a test question is the roulette wheel. All right. So what do you do first? Well, you got to figure out if this right here says even, this is winning. So we're going to put even in green because if the question says even number, if you hit an even number, that means you're a winner. Everybody with me? So what is the probability of even? Well, that's going to be, I'm going to do it in green. That's going to be equal to 20 over 42. So, the probability of winning, or can we bring me something to drink, please? The probability of winning with a even number is equal to 20 over 42. Here's where that complement comes in. I'm going to use red for losing. So the probability of not winning, I didn't say not even, I said not winning, is equal to 22 over 42. Because 0 and double 0 are not odd or even. So that's why you have to include it. Okay? So, odds against are equal to the probability of failure over the probability of success. So the probability of failure over the probability of success. So what's our probability of failure? 22 over 42 divided by 20 over 42. What happens when you divide by a fraction? You multiply by what? Reciprocal, Hubert. And the 42s cancel. And you're left with 22 to 20. And you can reduce that 11 to 10. Or 11 over 10. We're going to do another one, so don't worry. So what if you bet $500? Then you multiply $500 times 11 over 10. So we're going to take our handy dandy calculator. Why did I? 11 over 10. Now let me clear this. Second, quit. 11 divided by 10 is 1.1. And multiply that by 500. 550. What do you say to that, y'all? That really sucks. I mean, you're going to waste $500 and you only win 50? Why do you not win a lot of money? Because, somebody give me the probability right here. What's 20 over 42? Somebody give me that decimal.
That is 0.46 or 0.4762.
0.476. That's right at 0.5. 47. What is that? What is 0.47 or 0.5? What is that as far as likelihood?
About
it's somewhat
half.
likely, isn't it? It's right in the middle, right? Well, Vegas is not in the charity business, are they? No, they're not. So that's too high. When the probability is high, the odds are going to be low. Write that down. When the probability is high, the odds are going to be low. If the odds are low, you're not going to win much money. It's called conservative investment. When you buy stocks, you go into Vanguard stocks, you buy $500 worth of Vanguard stocks, you don't worry about them for 20 years, and you come out with $15,000. But you got to wait 20 years. That's a liberal stock. I'm sorry, a conservative stock. If you go more aggressive, you go in and buy ExxonMobil. Right now, you would buy ExxonMobil for $100 a share, and you buy $500, you buy 5 shares, and after November, when Rona and everything disappears, oil's going to go back up, and what's going to happen? You're going to make a lot of money. That's a more aggressive stock. So, yeah, but what could happen? Well, a lot could happen. The Vanguard stock ain't nothing gonna happen to it. It's substantial. Whereas the more aggressive stock, it could go under real quick. Now, Mobil Exxon is not a good one to use, but since the price of OIL is down right now, I use that stock. Okay? So let's do this with a different twist. Let's say you got the same roulette wheel, and I'm just going to draw a circle, and I'm going to draw 2 that are green, and that one's green down here, and that one is 0 and double 0. Okay. And we've got the same thing, roulette wheel. Roulette wheel has 40 slots numbered. Okay. And with 2 slots, 0, double 0. Find the probability of 0. B, find the odds against 0. And then C, place a $500 bet. What would you win? All right, I'm going to let y'all do this one. I will tell you that the denominator is still going to be 42. So y'all can't mess the denominator up now. Nobody asked why I said November the oil prices would go back up. Why didn't y'all ask that? Y'all just not into it today.
Because the election's going to be over.
There you go. Well, there's not a lot of. I'm having faith that America is not as stupid as the media thinks they are. I hope. So let me start you off. What is the probability of 0? Not double 0, but just a single 0.
1 out of 42.
So that's success. So what is the probability of not getting 0?
41 out of 42.
1 out of 42. All right, go to it. Find the odds. Probability of failure or the probability of success? Miss Billy, you got one of them closets. It's like in the horror movie. I can't think of the horror movies. It might be Insidious. I can't remember.
Yeah. All the closets in our house are like that, pretty much, except for my mom's walk-in closet. So,
Yep. I love those memes that come on Facebook where the guy turns the light off and there's somebody that's a shadow, turns the light on, and it disappears. Oh, I love those. And then it comes out at you. Oh, I love those. I'll be glad when things get back to normal after November and we can have horror movies again, good horror movies. All right, so here we go. The odds against. Well, here's A. Okay, B is going to be 41 over 42 divided by probability of failure over the probability of success. Multiply by 42 over 1. 41 to 1, or 41 over 1, which is 41. The odds against will be 14 to 1. So now you just are not 14, 41 to 1. Did I say 14? Multiply by 41. Somebody multiply 500 times 41 for me.
I got 20500.
Now that's a payday. That's why you have professional gamblers. Somebody give me the probability of 1 over 42. Give me that decimal. It'll be just about 0.
It was 0.0238.
Probability is very low. If the probability of winning is very low, the odds will be what?
High.
Will be high. So if you're lucky enough to hit that 0, you're going to have a good night. So what do you need to get from odds? You need to get the probability is low, then the payoff is high. If the probability is high, the payoff is low. That's why you have people playing nickel slot machines. They don't want to lose money versus the people that play the $5 slot machines. The nickel slot machines, if you win, you might get $6. But if you play the $5 slot machines, you may win $2,000 or $3,000. Thus, the old saying, you get out of it what you what?
put into it.
What you put
Oh
in.
my God. I can't believe you said that. Shut up, Hubert. Shut up. I need to get another marker. I done went through a box of black markers. I got 3 left out of 12 this semester. That's odds against. All right. Now we got the additive law. The additive law and the multiplicative law. The additive law, all you have to worry about, and this is in red, so that means It's very important. The additive law always subtract the overlap. Okay? With the multiplicative law, you always have to remember whether it's with replacement or without replacement. And I explain this, and hopefully you'll, without replacement, I'm sorry, let's see, with replacement, yeah, with replacement, I always have to do this. Without replacement means that you pull a marble out and you put it in your pocket. That means that the with replacement is independent, and with replacement is dependent. Okay? The word and is with multiplicative law. The word or is with the additive law. And notice that's all in red. So that means either you're writing in red or you're writing with the, you're coloring it with a highlighter. Very important. Okay? Most of the time when you're dealing with the additive law, I like to put it in the form of a table. Okay, it's like this. RH negative, RH positive. What are the blood types? O, A, B, and AB. Something like that. Two, 4, 6, 8, 1, 2, 5, 7. Okay, in other words, I like to give students a table when I do the additive law. And this is a good one to use. And I would go through and do a couple of problems, just make up some problems, because you've got about 8 to 10 problems just with this. Okay, you can make up a problem. I'm going to make up one right now. What is the probability if I put all these people's names on a piece of paper and put them in a hat? And I put RH negative and O, and I put RH positive and O, and I put that on a slip of paper. What's the possibility? What is the probability of getting O or B? So I would go through, I'm going to take my highlighter, and I'm going to highlight O with yellow. I'm going to highlight B with green. Dang over day. So I'm just going to highlight O and B. And I'm going to use a real just dotted, because I'm going to do 2 questions on this. And I don't want to mess up my table. I'm just going to dot. Okay, first of all, I got to get a denominator. And the denominator is always going to be everything what? Added up. So let's see, 6 and 4 is 10, 8, and that's 20. 7 and 2 and 1 is 35. Somebody check and see if it's 35.
I got 37.
Well, you're wrong. I'm always right. I'm just kidding. All right. That's 10. That's 10. That's 10. I got 35. Check it again.
I got 35.
Check it one more time. I need one more person.
I typed it in the calculator, but I guess I did something wrong.
Well, just check. Somebody, we got 10, 15 people in the class. Come on. Only got 2 people that respond.
I got 35.
Thank you. Who was that?
Woodward.
Thank you, Miss Woodward.
You're
Oh
welcome.
God.
I put a 9 instead of a 7.
Okay. Well, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's the calculator's fault. Okay. Shut up, Hubert. Okay, so we got a big denominator of 35. And I'm gonna write in yellow so you can bitch. I'm gonna put a 3 here, 2 plus 1. And I know you can see that better than I can because I can't hardly see it, but y'all can because I see it on the, oh, shut up. And plus 6 plus 5. And then I subtract the overlap. Is there any colors overlapping? No. So I don't have overlap here. So that's going to be 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 11 is what? Somebody do 14 over 35 for me. Give me 4 digits.
It's actually just 0.4.
Okay. So your probability of picking somebody out of a hat that's either O or B blood type is 0.4000. Now that's how you do without an overlap. Now let's do one with an overlap. Same thing. I'm going to take a piece of paper here and we're going to cover this up. There we go. Let me fold it. I got something to show y'all. I got my toy, my whiteboard. I got to set it up. I got to pull this table out and I got a projector and I got a scanner. And we're going to see how that works. I'm going to try to have it up this week so I can write on the wall, which I'm not writing on the wall. It just looks like I'm writing on the wall to y'all. That makes sense. All right. I'm just doing it just to do something different. What is the probability? Make somebody at Tri-County talk about me. Probability of RH negative or A. So I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to highlight. I'm going to use 2 different colors. I'm going to highlight my RH negative in pink. And I'm going to highlight my A in blue. So now I'm going to write everything out. I know my denominator is still 35. Everybody with me? So my pink is going to be 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 minus my blue, which is going to be minus 4 plus 2. And then always minus your overlap. What is my overlap here?
4.
Always minus your overlap. And now we're ready to do the math. 4 plus 6 is 8. That's 20. So we're going to get 20 minus 6 minus 4 all that over things I do for y'all. 20 minus 6 is 14. 14 minus 4 is 10. And somebody give me 10 over 35, 4 digits.
0.2857.
So you got a 29% chance of picking somebody with RH negative or A. And that's how you do the additive law. Always try to get a table, some way, some form. Draw a table. It makes it a whole lot easier and get you some highlighters. Because either you're going to have an overlap or you're not going to have an overlap. And that's how you do the additive law. Now, what about the multiplicative law? I'm going to try my best to get through the multiplicative law. Because what I always do here, 80% of this test that you're going to take is going to be basic probability, odds, additive, multiplicative. And what I do is I get those in front of you and let y'all work on the homework. 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. Then y'all send me questions and we go over homework questions. Then I do counting, which is your 20%. And that's 5.5? And that's factorials. And then I do it separately because it's kind of different from what we're doing now. That's why I do factorials separate. Let's bag of Marlboro, not a bag of Marlboros from those of you that's in the Marlboro Club, but a bag of marbles, okay? Bag of marbles. And we got 10 blue marbles. And we've got 10 green marbles. And we've got 10 red marbles. And I got to put my favorite color in there. We've got 10 yellow marbles. So you know the denominator is going to be 40. You already know that. Okay? And I want to know the probability, and I will just do this on this side. I want to know the probability of two blue marbles, picking a blue marble and a blue marble. That means picking 1 and 2, and they're both being blue. Blue and blue. I want to do with replacement and without replacement. I'm going to do both. So the first is with replacement. And we're going to do the second one without replacement. Without replacement. Now let's talk about what replacement is. With replacement means that you pick a marble out of the bag, you write down the color that you picked, and then you put it back in the bag. So how many marbles are in the bag at all times?
40.
40. Write that down. 40 is your denominator throughout this whole thing. So therefore, the statistics and the probability does not change because that 40 stays the same because you write it down and you put that marble back in. Without replacement means you put the marble in your pocket, and after you choose the first one, what does the denominator change to?
39.
And therefore, the probability changes. Okay, so we're going to do the first one. So that's going to be, let's say, 2, well, it's going to be 1 over 40 times 1 over 40, which is 1 over 40 times 1 over 40. And you know to use multiplication because of the and. Now, the reason you use 40 both times is because you wrote down the color and you put it back in there so the denominator does not change. Or you can say 1 over 40 raised to the second power, where 2 is the number of times you're drawing. And somebody take 1 over 40 and raise it to the second power and tell me what you get. 4 digits. It's going to be very low. The probability of you picking 2 of the same color back to back out of 40 marbles is going to be about 0.
It gave me scientific notation.
Give it to me. What does it say?
It was 6.25 times 10 to the negative 4th.
So that means there's 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 5.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I told you it'd be around 0. Okay, now, with the first pick, without replacement, okay, you pick 1 over 40 times, what's the next draw?
It is 1 over 39.
1 over 39. Now somebody multiply those two together and tell me what you get.
Around the same thing, but it was 6.41 and then times 10 to the negative 4th.
0, 0, 0, 6, 4, 1.
Yes, sir.
And you just said it's about the same thing. But let me tell you when it doesn't matter which way you do it, with replacement or without replacement. The best thing to go by is if you have, and I'm going to put this in red, if you are given three digits or more over 300, it doesn't matter which method you use. Okay? I'll give you an example. CDs. You work at a CD factory that makes the CDs that people used to record on, and I don't know if they still do. I don't even know if they make CDs anymore. But you work there, and you're the quality assurance manager, and you're going to go through and you're going to pick 5 CDs out of a bin. And if all 5 of those CDs are bad, you're not letting it go to Walmart or Target or whatever. You're sending it back to whoever, what part of the company made them, and say, fix this problem. Okay? So you got a bin of CDs. Let's say there's 1,417 in this bin. And you know by past stats, and this is all given, you know that 20% are usually bad. Okay, 0.2. Okay, so that means somebody take 0.2 of 1417 and tell me what you get.
I got 0.00014.
No. 1417 times 0.2. 10%.
283.4.
There you go. So 283 are bad. Now take 283 away from 1417. It doesn't take that long.
I got 1134.
1434. Yeah.
Say again.
1134.
Is that what you got, Miss Billy?
No, I typed in the calculator wrong.
Oh, okay. All right. So out of that bin of CDs, by past statistics, we know that there's probably around 283 that are bad and around 1,134 that are good. Okay? We want to pick 5. And if all 5 are bad, then we don't send it out. Okay? Now remember, you send this stuff out to Target, Walmart, Best Buy. You're the place that actually makes the CDs. Okay? So you send it out to these different places. And if it's less, if the 5 are not bad, you send it out and let Walmart and Best Buy, let them deal with the bad ones. Okay? But if all 5 are bad, then you're not going to send this crate out. So let's pick it. What is the probability of bad and bad and bad and bad and bad? So it's and, so it's multiplicative law. That's an and, that's an ampersand, not a plus. Now, we're going to do with and without replacement because it's not going to matter because this is above 3 digits, above 300. So I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be pretty much the same number. So I'm going to do with replacement. So that's going to be 5 out of 5 bad out of 5 out of 1417, right? 1417. Raised to the, oh, that's not right. You're 283 over, I knew something was wrong, 1417 over, to the 5th power. All right, somebody crank that out. Because this is 283, that's 283, that's 283, that's 283, that's 283. Give me 4 digits.
0.0003177.
That's good. Somebody second it to make sure we got the right numbers. Yes, no, maybe. 283 divided by 1417 raised to the 5th power. Okay, I'll do it. I just don't want to go ahead unless we make sure. I like to have 2 people confirm it, but since the 15 people in the class suck, divide by 1417, raised to the 5th power, and you are correct. Now,
Don't doubt me, Hubert.
I know. I don't know why I'm doubting you, man. I do that in all my classes with replacement. So in other words, after you pick the CD, you put it back in which you would not do in a quality assurance. You would keep it. But you're going to see it doesn't matter which method you use. So 283, you hold the one that you got. So that means out of bad.
The calculator.
Sorry. I suck. See, y'all don't mind when it's something negative about me. Y'all don't mind talking. All right. So 282 out of 14, not 17, but 14 what? 16. Now I got 2 in my hand. So what's my third draw going to be?
281 out of 1415.
Good job. Now I got 3 in my hand. I can't hold 3 fingers up good, so I have to hold it up like that. So the next one's going to be 280 over 1414. And the last 279 out of 1413. Now I'm going to go ahead and punch this in the calculator because I know dang well y'all ain't going to do it. So some of y'all might, but you won't tell me. So you'll just let Mr. Yates tell me. Mr. Yates will tell him. We don't have to do it. Parentheses 283 divided by 1417. Close parentheses times open parentheses 282 divided by 1416. Close parentheses 281 divided by 1415. Dadgummit. 281 divided by 1415. 280 and 279. And enter. And that's going to be 3.0, well, 3.1 to the negative 4th. So we're going to write, I'm going to write, well, it's really 3.088. 3088. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you round to 4 digits, what's the answer?
Oh, 0.003.
Yeah, even if you round to 5 digits. Are you going to get the same answer?
Yes, sir.
They're going to ask you to round to 4 digits. They're not going to ask you to do anything funny. So if you get a problem that is got big numbers and they tell you to do without replacement, there's no need, and usually they don't. Usually they just, if it doesn't say, then chances are you can use either. But there's some that say with replacement and without replacement, or independent and dependent. Remember, independent means nothing's going to mess with me. Okay? Nothing messes with the statistics if you put the marble back in the bag. That's with replacement. Independent, nothing messes with me, put the marble back in the bag. That means with replacement. Now, if you're talking about marbles, then you're talking about a difference, because you're not going to have 14,000 marbles in a bag. You're going to have like 10 or 15. And that's the three things. So right now, we're going to go ahead and finish up class right now. Right now, you should be working on 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3. 3.1, make sure you hit the basic probability questions. And I can tell you right now, it has to do with a deck of cards or a roulette wheel or a die that's going to be on the test.
Huber, is that not 5.1?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about calculus. 5. I'm in chapter 3 of calculus. All right, odds. Odds usually are with the roulette wheel. I can tell you that right now. 5.2 is your additive law. And 5.3 is your multiplicative law. That's going to be 80% of your test. And after we finish going over homework problems with this, then we'll go over 5.5, which is used in factorial, which is counting. Okay? So between now and Thursday, y'all need to be working on those 3 sections, and you should be hitting, by Thursday, when we have class, you should either be hitting on or finishing up 5.3. Now, you can leave gaps in there because you're going to send me questions, leave those gaps, but you should be striving to get into or finished with 5.3 Thursday. Okay? Now, I'm going to turn off the recording. Somebody sent, I'm sorry, I don't have the conversation up all the time. Somebody says the Russians, okay. The least squared reg, you're confusing. Yeah, it is. But I'll make, on your test, Miss Woodward, I'll make you do all of them by hand. Darn Russians.
Even better.
It's a conspiracy. Yeah, but it'll be all over in November. So let me turn off the recording.